These are the Monoprice Monolith K-Bas. K-Bas? There's no numbers, which is strange for Monoprice. I guess I could read you the SKU number. These would be the 1090407s. Okay, whatever. The point is, Monoprice, which some people love and some people hate, mostly people who actually create things and Monoprice rips them off. See Energy and AudioQuest. They hate Monoprice. Now, I have other feelings because they brought me those M560s. Hi, baby. That glass shelf for $17. Good quality, cheap interconnects. All wonderful. And their speakers is sort of like, I don't give a shit because they look like crap. They look like crap, and no one's ever said they're great. They've taken them apart. I've seen them. They're not good. So, this whole Monolith thing with the headphones. The headphones, see those headphones, those 560s? Those headphones have proven to me that there is something to Monoprice's, whether it's deceit and they're just stealing all these ideas and designs, whatever. I don't care. I'm here to tell you what I hear. So, when the randomness of me going to Monoprice looking up the 1060 headphones didn't bring me the 1060 headphones and instead showed me a pair of speakers for $500. $500 for the pair. $250 a piece, $500 for the pair. I was like, what? Monoprice? That's fucking pricey for you, isn't it? Well, I opened up the page and like, oh, this ugly thing. And then I went, oh, hold on. Oh. That's ugly as hell. Oh, God, I put these on too tight. Get off there. And they are indeed sort of ugly as hell. Let's take them both off. Strip them naked. Like God intended. Now, I don't know who did the engineering for Monoprice or if they just ripped off a DIY speaker build somewhere, because if you're going to make a $500 pair of speakers, that's not insignificant. That's not an insignificant amount of money. That's a very significant amount of money. And if you look at the design of the inside, it's actually super weird. The tweeter is obviously sealed in the back, but there's a chamber. So there's a chamber that this 5 1/4 has, and then it goes down through the back, and then there's a port out here, and then it goes up, and it's also resonating in the chamber here. So there's actual work involved somewhere in this to make this happen. And the reason I said, all right, Patreon money, ho, is because number one, they're available on Amazon, thank you, God, because Monoprice's shipping could be fucked up. Although it says free shipping, not prime shipping, so it's probably going to ship from them as well. Side note, before I continue, I did the math, and from where I am on the East Coast, if I bought them on Monoprice, it would cost me $46.34 to ship them. If I buy them from Amazon, it's $271.86 in free shipping, so that's less. That's less. It's less on Amazon by like $4. Just so check it out. I'll link to both the Amazon page and the Monoprice page. Figure out what works best for you. So the point of me buying these speakers for $500, because again, I don't, I want to be one of the first to review them. That's fine. Got to get in there. Got to get in there. But I don't, give a shit usually. 39 hertz, they claim. Now, anyone who knows speakers, if you don't know speakers, I'll explain. But if you do know speakers, 39 hertz just make your pants get a little tighter. Because to claim 39 hertz, like the Vanatu T1s, those things, 5 1/4, with a passive radiator, little tiny things, but they claimed like 43 hertz. We're talking about depth of bass. Most bookshelves, most speakers in general, somewhere like the MB42Xs, about 80, 75, 70 maybe. Then you get down to like the better ones, they do 50, 55, 50, and then really good speakers can get into the 40s as far as how low they go. So 30s, 39, I know they worked real hard to get it under 40, and just to say 39 is the lowest it'll go. I had to. I had to try them. I had this. Plus, they do that thing where the tweeters on the bottom, and that sort of makes my pants tight automatically because there's my Yamos. Oh, Yamos. Just wave to all my shit. I'm real crazy now. I need more friends. So I got them, and they come in these huge ass boxes. Each one's packed individually in a box the size of like a big microwave. So I will not be I do the thing on Patreon where I will, if I get something with the Patreon money, and then I'm like, I don't have room for this, I'll just sell it. Usually that involves, United States shipping, and I'll pay for shipping, but to ship these two things, you're looking at over $100. So I'm not doing that. I'd rather keep them and use them for comparative purposes at this point. However, we need to talk about them. Do you love them? Do you hate them? Are they pretty? Are they ugly? Do you care? There's no labeling on the grill. Grills, who gives a shit about grills? You probably actually are going to end up leaving the grills on. Because it's weird to have a box, and I'll pull one down now. Pull one off. It's... Oh, big. Big. This is big. This is big. My home theater PC case is almost as big. The rear, there's nothing to look at in the rear. It's got 2 ports. They're up high, actually, because of the way the interiors are designed. They have to move it up. So it's pointing up and up and up, and I would use, I don't know. It's fine, I guess. No, the feet come in the box, so you can put them on or not. This is one pair of speakers I won't play upside down. First of all, putting them upside down. The tweeter doesn't move when you rotate it. That's one of the reasons I rotate speakers, is to move the center imaging down, which usually moves the tweeter from the top to the bottom when you rotate it. Since this tweeter's pretty much dead center, rotating it upside down doesn't change anything. It just moves where the port is. Now this here is their 5 1/4, and I've got some aesthetical problems with it. Number one, well, it's got the negative dust cap. That's fine. The concave instead of convex. That's fine. I like it. But this looks cheap as shit. This, poly cone material for $500 a pair. I wish that didn't look like that. It's got a decent thick surround. Okay, I could, the surrounds are surrounds. It doesn't have to be very pretty. The problem I have is this fucking shape is like OEM TV speaker garbage. No speaker should have this shape around it. All right, that's this. I don't even know what's the cause of it. Plus, you only get 4 mounts, and that means that you're here and here, and this could just bend a little bit, and you'll have leaks. So they got to put a lot. I actually unscrewed one and screwed it back in just to make sure it was seated properly. So I disapprove of this, but I don't disapprove of what comes out of it. Tweeter here is fine, by the way. I like the little cover. It's fine. There's very little wave. Actually, it's using this entire part of the speaker as the waveguide, since it's actually the cone of the tweeter is sticking out past, and it's using this diffractor. So it's doing some things, and I know it's doing things because I'm about to give these a rave review for desktop setups. Because I started them out in the living room, like most speakers start out. It used to be the other way around. You used to start them out in here and then, judge them and then bring them outside and see how they did. But now it's how's my angularity? I was covering the thing and out of the, okay, I'm going to keep distances proper. Now I sit here with my desk janked up another like 5 inches because the way these are built, if you look at them, it almost looks like a normal set of speakers with a stand built into them. So I was excited when I had them in the living room. Honestly, out in the living room, I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling the $500, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll break them in and make sure I can feel it. So I kept pushing them, and I kept pushing them, and the problem is I kept pushing them because I heard something, and it wasn't getting to me. I had other pairs of speakers out there, the Wharfdale Diamonds out in the living room, fucking great. Even the little Cambridge Audios, the SX50s, you put them on and you get that sweetness, and it was just like, oh, I could listen to these all day. And those reviews are probably coming up because I want to release this one first. But these out there in the living room were just, they I don't know, it sounded like they had phasing issues, and I couldn't, and then I bring them in here this morning, and that's it. This is where they go. These speakers are as good as any studio monitors I've ever heard, including the Airmotive like 5s and 6s. Now they're $500, so they're not cheap, and they're big, and they're not self-powered, so you're looking at buying 540, it's roughly $550 speakers, and then powering them. And let me tell you, that is a phase linear Model 400, and I've used it for a couple of my speaker reviews recently. And usually I have the input sensitivity down, and I have my Emotiva DAC at -12, and then I have very, very gentle, I'm controlling the DBX Go Rack right here, which, by the way, buy of the year. And keep it down, you know, because I don't want to blow anything up. And then all of a sudden these come out here, and it's like, you know what? Up 6 more decibels, and then I could push these to like 8. And oh my God. I have some sort of sickness, people. And people have always said, oh, you play things too loud. Headphones, I play them a little bit too loud. Speakers, I know there's a balance where you can't. And I want to blow these fucking speakers up. And 200 watts per channel, American, 1970s American. You know, James Dean and shit. That's before disco destroyed all things. Power. So now I'm sitting here. I set these up on the stands like I set up the other speakers. And I'm just like, what? Okay. Yeah.
The indifference of the days, I want a conscience that will keep me.
That phasing issue that I heard out there, I keep pointing off camera, I'm pretty sure, out there, comes in here at this distance at, those are about 5 feet apart because it's a 4-foot desk, and that's it. So now I'm sitting about 4.5 feet back, and whatever was screwing up my brain out in the living room is now screwing up my brain here in the most amazing way possible. Because I'm just, Foo Fighters, I don't even, the recording quality by myself of Foo Fighters is just garbage. It's like a curved screen. You know, see those curved screen monitors? And you're like, what the fuck good are those? Those aren't too... Now imagine a curved speaker that was just 6 feet wide and just curved in front of you. Because that's what these are doing. I think it has a lot to do with the way that they're... Whether it's intentional or not, I don't know. I don't know how good Monoprice's engineers are, but that tweeter is just doing... It doesn't offend. You'd think it's, you know, some tweeters offend, like the Klipsch over there. I have to now decide if I like those Klipsch or these better, and I'm pretty sure it's these. I love those Klipsch. I love them. But you know what they don't do? They don't do 39 hertz. And the imaging, they're real close in imaging, but I think these are just more neutral overall. The overall is more neutral. I've seen measurements. I know Stereophile put out a review where they have sitting up on a ladder 19 feet in the air and they're measuring with the microphone outside. It's crazy. But I don't care. I'm here to listen. I want to listen to non-Fubar. No. The Frozen soundtrack in Japanese.
Reindeers are better than people.
Oh, By the way, everyone was bitching, oh my god, Frozen's the greatest movie of all time. Everyone loves it. So I downloaded the soundtrack first. And I listened to the soundtrack, and I'm like, these songs are terrible. And then I ended up watching it on cable, back when I had cable. And I'm like, this movie is terrible. Frozen is not a very good Disney movie. There are a million more actual good Disney movies. Fucking WALL-E destroys it. Hell, The Incredibles destroys it for an animated feature. It's just, I don't know. That's my 2 cents. Watch all my subscribers disappear. But yeah, Frozen was overrated as fuck. Keep going. Percussion testing of drums. Gypsy Kings. Here.
I am Africa.
He's right there.
I am Africa with the strength.
I don't know what's doing it. All right, I don't know what's doing it. If there's a phase, choral. It sort of reminds me when I was talking about the DIY speakers that I love, the little tiny ones. Overnight Sensations. There you go. Brain works today. I said, oh, it sounds like there's a phase thing going on. There's good depth to it. And depth is hard to come by in speakers. And I was like, well, why doesn't every bigger speaker sound as good as these overnight sensations? And guess what? These do. They've actually got a crossover. Their crossover for the highs and lows are on separate boards entirely, and then just stuck together and wired in between to keep crosstalk down. Monoprice has said, all right, look, we'll pull out some, we'll lose some profit, and although $500, I don't know how much they're making these for, but they actually did extras that they didn't have to do, which I'm proud of them in that aspect, as long as they didn't rip these off from another company that we're going to find out about a lawsuit. But you can hear that they're quality beyond the normalcy. Monoprice has always got great stuff for less. And if these speakers showed up by another brand and they were $750, $800, I'd believe it. I'd believe it in a heartbeat. Corn, well, no, I got it with Barry White. Ladies,
we've definitely got our thing together, don't we, baby? Isn't that nice?
I think the reason I don't like them as much in the living room is because there's always a limiting factor if that's a 5 1/4. The other speakers that I love, fucking love, but have a 5 1/4 that limits them, JBL Studio 530s. $600 a pair. Actually, only when I got them, only a little bit more than these are. And these are better low end. We got to get to the low end. We're sort of like skirting around the build, the imaging, the spatiality, the neutrality. You can mix on these. I'm pretty sure you could mix on these. That's the sort of neutrality. There's no room correction or any of the other stuff you'd actually need, but they're front ported. And all right, that's a lot of Barry White coming out of them. That's another thing. In the living room, I push him, and I was pushing him to try to get him because I heard that they had this thing, and every time I push him to the actual limits, which these have 150 watts maximum, by the way, and that's 200 watts, and I was able to find the end of these speakers out there. Here, Barry White's about to kill me, all right? I'll be killed. I won't be on camera because no one will be here to upload it if I get killed by Barry White, but he could come out of these speakers and fucking crush my chest. 39 hertz. They get low. Get low, get low, get low. But I'm pretty sure unless you do a... Don't start that now. Unless you do a bit of an EQ tweaku... Hold on, I don't know what's coming up. Oh, God. All right, unless you do a bit of an EQ tweaku or you're running the Go Rack and run sub-synth, you're not really, it's getting down low, lower than most speakers get. But if you really want to take advantage, and I'm talking about fully take advantage of what they're claiming of 39 hertz, you got to either EQ jack or run your setup source, Go Rack, amp, whatever your amp is. You're going to need at least an SA98. SA98, you need more than 50 watts a channel. I'm watching the LEDs bounce. I'm touching 100 easily on a desk. Now keep in mind I'm a lunatic, and you may not be lunatics, but you're going to hear these speakers and you're going to be like, I think I could just a little more. I just want that little, just a little more. Please give me crack cocaine a little more and I'll be fine. And that's what you're going to find the end of your amplifier. Especially digital amps like the SA50 or SA98. They're great until the point you figure out where distortion happens, and then they're not. So even for here on a deck, I mean, I'm running that's 200 watts a channel of American power, and I could almost find the end of that amp before I find the end of these speakers. It's real close because of the logarithmic gain of a thing. It's like 150 is real close to 200. It's like that far away. It's not 50. It's like that far. Don't raise the volume while it's muted. You'll die. Oh! That's sub-synth. So, they do have more low end by default than pretty much every other bookshelf I've listened to on a desk situation. Period. But if you really want it, Leonard Skinner's not going to show it off. How to Destroy Angels will show it off. If you really want it, imaging is just everywhere, and it should be like that for every speaker, because there's always two speakers and you get a center, but usually you get a center and you get left and right and then things move. But this, something is moving, it's all along here. Now they're front ported and they're deep as fuck, so you could probably put them on a normal desk against a wall and not have a problem. That's one of the benefits. And even with the recessed wires, you're able to put them on your desk, push them against the wall till they hit, and you'll be fine, because they're so far away and they're front ported. Now, going back to I was doing Sherlock Holmes. I kind of want to make sure this stays here, because I love the Sherlock Holmes. The new Sherlock Holmes OSTs, number 1 and number 2, are both flawless victories. Romanian Wind or Romanian Holiday, we could do that one. 80. Now, when I first set these speakers up in the living room, I was 7-8 feet away from them. They were on these stands out there. I'm sitting on my couch, so my head is like here. And I learned something. I learned something that I've never had to know about before. Is that when you make a port, that shape in the front, what you've essentially done is made it a summer speaker. What does that mean? What does it mean when a speaker is a summer speaker? Let's see if I can get to. I have sub-synth on because I want to exaggerate the effect a little bit, but in there. Should we try to get it out? See, A Perfect Circle Lullaby gets it removed from YouTube. It's a pretty good song, actually. Now we're just fucking with things. I've already. If you're not interested in buying these speakers at this point in the review, what else could I say? They're fucking great. They're ugly. I hate that shape. Their image, while they could do low, and then you could force low upon them even more with subsynth or an EQ. Oh, I know what to do. All right, let's see. Ha! Got you out, didn't I? Yeah, those are dumb. These are dumb. These are dumb speakers. They're dumb. They need dumb power. They need at least 60 watts a channel. Even on a desk, they need it. But they don't need any space behind them. They're just huge, ugly motherfuckers, and that's why I bought them, because I'm a huge, ugly motherfucker, and I sympathize with it. So, I mean, Monoprice can be a shit company a lot of the time. They're stealing things and everything else. But occasionally they'll put out something like this, and it's like, I see what you did there. I see what you did there, Monoprice. You actually did something. I can't wait for the 1060s. And by the way, if you want to buy one of these DBX Go racks, the rack thing itself is under 30, but all these adapters to convert it from XLR to RCA are about $25 total. So $50 for the ability to adjust. I love it. I love them. And you should too.